I come to listen to the Lord. I have the Bible open. I have my laptop open, which if you're like me, you should not do. You should not do. So I have my laptop open. Literally 5 minutes, I'm attentive to his word. Then I check my email. 5 more minutes attentive to his word. I go to Twitter. I go to Facebook. Then I'm back on Twitter. Then I'm back on Facebook. And then I check out that YouTube clip. And then I check out the news because I need to know the news. And then I'm back on my email. And then I'm 5 more minutes in the word. Over and over. And something's happening in this generation. I've even read some studies on it, to our brains. How many of you have noticed that your brain is different now that you know you jump from one thing to another, that even long meditation on anything is actually getting harder? And I'm making a little bit of a joke of it, but I'm actually really concerned about this because I found in the early days of IHOP, before I had computer, before I had social networking, before I was all discombobulated on the inside, I was able to sit for long hours in loving meditation and read the Bible or read, books, the mystics and the different saints that I fell in love with in the early days. But something's happening in my brain. And the thing that I want to challenge us today is that sacred space of your soul, to fight for it. I want to beg us to fight for it. Do not let it go so easily. There is much, much involved to tending the garden of your life. From things as practical as what you eat, how you sleep, who you hang out with, how you spend your time, your money, your lips, the way you talk. I cannot tell you how much of the fire of God I have let out of my heart because I won't shut up. I just talk, and I'm so funny, and I just go on and on and on and on, and I'm on and on and on, and the Lord is like, if you would just keep your mouth quiet and be quiet. I'm trying to start a fire, but every time I get the thing going, you let it all out. We have to take our hearts seriously because this is the thing that he takes seriously. This is the thing that he died for. This is the thing he's fighting for. And we will not become a corporate house of prayer until we become individual houses of prayer. You don't encounter God corporately for the most part. There are exceptions. You encounter God individually. Individually, we're looking at one man. We're looking at him through the eyes of the Spirit. And this is actually what makes us one. This makes us one body because we're all doing the same thing. But I can't do it for you. Mike Bickle can't do it for me. I can't just sit in a room and be carried along. We have to fight for it. We have to become the house of prayer. God calls us a house of prayer from heaven. But are we fulfilling that mandate in our hearts when we're in the prayer room? As we come and go, life of prayer is far more than just what we do sitting in that chair. It says that Mary chose the good part. And the main difference, I believe, between Mary and Martha was not that Martha was a servant. That's how you typically hear that preached. Martha was a servant, and she was doing work, and Mary sat and did nothing. The thing that Jesus addressed was her heart. Again, it's the issue of being easily bothered. Just the simple things of being bothered and anxious. It says that the cares of life and the desire for other things, it sneaks in and it robs you of that position. But the Lord says one thing is needed. If Jesus himself, we're talking about the uncreated God in the flesh, Jesus said one thing is needed. One. He didn't say one of many. He said one thing is needed, and it will never be taken away from her. It will never be taken away from her. There is a gaze that is eternal. It's perpetual. It will never go out. Your body will grow old. You will die. But there is a gaze. There is a locked gaze, a heart-to-heart, a face-to-face encounter with the living God that will never be taken away, and it will never end. He wants us to learn to fellowship with his Spirit, to be calm. The psalmist says that he calmed and he quieted his soul. He was calm on the inside. In order to listen to someone speak, you have to be silent. You have to be quiet. You know, prayer is a two-way dialogue. Prayer is not just us standing in front of him, asking, making our decrees known. That is an element of prayer for sure. There is an element of intercession where we're standing in front of him and we're making our requests known and we're prophesying and we're changing the atmosphere. And then there is a flip side to that where we're quiet and we listen and we press our ear to the floor of heaven and we're listening. Jeremiah says that we stand in his counsel, we mark, we perceive his word, we take it seriously. Mary of Bethany was a student of the Spirit, student of Jesus. Jesus isn't here in the flesh, so the Spirit is in his place. We sit at his feet. We take him seriously. We mark. We perceive his word. We listen to him. We want to be friends of the bridegroom, right? We want to be a real voice, not just an echo and rhetoric and just vain repetition that goes on and on and on. But the only way that we're ever going to be a voice is if we learn to listen. John the Baptist heard the voice of the bridegroom. We got to listen. We listen by abiding in the Spirit. Jesus said that we have to abide in him. We have to remain in him. We have to stay in him. He said, abide in me and I will abide in you. And he said, abide in my word. His word. It's not that mysterious. It's not some ethereal it. It's not some ethereal room that you're trying to get in. It's just a renewing of your mind. It's as simple as that, putting truth in your mind over and over and over again. And he said, abide in my love. Those are the three things he said to abide in. Abide in me, abide in my word, abide in my love. How simple is this thing called Christianity that we've been invited to, yet we complicate it so profoundly. Anybody can do it. Almost no one ever will, but anybody can. He said, abide in me, rest, live in me. I like how Mike Bickle says in John 15, that every time the word abide is there, replace it with the word talk to. It's as simple as that. Talk to me, I'll talk to you. He says you won't walk in the Spirit any more than you talk to the Spirit. It's as simple as that. Talk to me and I'll talk to you. Now our hearing is foggy. You can't just trust everything that you hear. You have to go through the Bible with other people, in fellowship with other people. But there is a conversation. Sometimes it's a picture, it's an impression, it's just it's a little glimmer, it's a little lead. It's just he has such a poetic way. You know, God is the poet of all poets.